simmer on the side a little bit for Declan Rice. I want to talk about Harry Kane first, Diego. I want to talk about Harry Kane's ventures here, potential ventures. Looking like he might get the move to Bayern Munich if they can agree a fee. It's going to be really hard. Bayern Munich are going to have to play some crazy moves here because I know that Tottenham are going to play some hardball. Could move to Bayern Munich. If he doesn't move now, he might leave on a free. Chelsea are in the mix. A lot of people are talking about Chelsea being in the mix because Mauricio Pochettino signed him on a free afterwards. The likes of, I'm sure, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, United, City. Actually, probably not City, but
Saudi Arabia out of nowhere.
Saudi Arabia could come in. They could come in swinging. Harry Kane could be on the move here, Diego. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's one of those okay. Obviously, no Tottenham fan wants Harry Kane to go just for him to go. He's a legend of the club. He's one of the greatest strikers in Premier League history. If he breaks Alan Shearer's record, he's going to go down in the record books for who knows when that's will be broken again. And he does undoubtedly want to break it. So I guarantee you, whether he moves this summer or not, he's going to come back at some point if he does move, and he's going to come and break the record. He's 100%.
Yeah.
That being said, he wants to move because, let's be honest, Spurs are rebuilding. We're not in any way challenging for any big things this upcoming season. Maybe a Carabao Cup.
James Maddison.
Yeah,
great
that's a
signing.
solid signing.
It's a great
signing.
Finally a good signing.
Yeah,
I know.
Right.
Tell me about it.
I was like, damn. All right, James Maddison. I see you.
I'm happy about that.
Just don't ruin him, yeah.
I'll try. Hey, no promises.
Don't
No promises.
Don't make him a Dele Alli. Just kidding. That's Dele Alli's fault.
That was Dele's fault.
Way far
I
beyond.
know. I'm just joking.
My star boy. But look, if he leaves, obviously I don't want him to leave. But if he does, I'm not against him going to Bayern Munich. Guarantee a trophy.
Yeah.
Gets to play in the Champions League. Do his thing
On a consistent level, yeah.
at a consistent level. Get a year or two over there. Come back. Obviously, come back to Tottenham. You're not going to another English club. Let's be honest now. If you're going to leave trophies, don't go to another English club. You go to Bayern Munich, get your trophies, and come back to us. And break that record for your boyhood club.
The thing about okay, so how I view it is he's going to Bayern, and he comes back. I'm not saying for Tottenham for sure. I think Chelsea are in that mix, like I said. United are in that mix, like I said.
Go jump out a window. Go jump out a window. I don't care.
But my thing
His
is, like,
love for Harry Kane triumphs. Actually doesn't triumphs anything.
As a Premier League fan, I'd rather him stay and go to another Premier League team on a free next year, because I saw a tweet today. Like, I know you did too, Diego, but what is it? Like winning a title at Bayern Munich is like losing your virginity to a prostitute.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It is, but that's the whole point of then the people just come out with the most bullshit excuses. They say win a trophy, and he goes to win a trophy, and now they
win a trophy, Tottenham.
Yeah, but it's
not that hard.
But I agree.
I'm sorry. For me, that's such a I could give that 0 time of day. I give 0 shits about that. I'm sorry. I don't.
He's conditioned. He's conditioned.
I'm saying it's. You're saying Thomas Muller isn't a legendary player. Lewandowski is a legendary player for things they did?
Are. No, they are. Don't get me wrong.
Because they won trophies.
But it's in. I don't want to say easy way out, because it's not. He's not going there just because he knows he can win a trophy for sure. That would be a stupid move.
Right.
In that scenario, I just think, unless he it doesn't mean as much as even winning an FA Cup with Tottenham.
Winning anything with Tottenham would mean the most out of any other club you could go to.
That's what I mean, though. So, titles, who cares about the titles in Bayern Munich? However, winning an FA Cup with United or Chelsea, in my opinion, also means a little more than the Bundesliga title.
Yeah, but that's not what the English club he wants to be at, though. So
you don't know that? He almost went to City last year. He might go to Chelsea with Pochettino if Chelsea are firing at the time.
The only reason
he's even considered United.
This is fun to watch.
We suck ass.
But
if we were actually challenging, he would be staying 100%. Not because he likes Chelsea.
If Harry Kane leaves, and goes to Bayern Munich, the biggest player in Tottenham's arguably history,
yeah, you're
losing that bit of quality. He comes back in 2-3 years. Tottenham has a long ladder to climb to be at the point where he's going to come back and thinks he can challenge for trophies again. In 2, 3, 4 years, after losing the biggest player in your history, That's a lot for the club to make up for.
Here's the thing. I agree, but that's why we sell him then, because you get the money and you invest it. If you let him leave on a free,
but it's also
then
Daniel Levy. You're going to sign fucking nobody.
It is Daniel Levy.
Who's going to do nobody?
Daniel Levy isn't going to keep him and let him leave on a free if he isn't going to be able to re-sign on a new contract. If Levy knows that Kane, if he forces Kane to stay, right? He can force him to stay, whatever. And if he forces him to stay, but he's like, oh, he ain't signing a new contract, he ain't doing that. He's not going to lose Kane for nothing. So if he recognizes that he has to sell him this summer, whether he can be a hard ass and really have a hard time making transfers and stuff like that, he will sell Kane. So if Kane is sold, just know it's because he wasn't going to renew a contract, and that is why Levy sold him to Bayern, which for 70, 80 million, we can use that, put it back into the team. And I know you say we have a long ladder to climb, and I agree, but if we do this right and use that money to invest correctly, like we're already doing so far this summer with the keeper, Vicario, and Madison, we are getting closer to that point where when Kane comes back, maybe it's all of a sudden we have a chance at a trophy. I think that is the ideal scenario I'm looking at right now. So that's why I'm okay with him being sold, just not to an English club, because that would break my heart. Go to Bayern Munich, win your trophies, put him on the record. No one can even say you never won any trophies. I don't give a shit if people say it wasn't hard to win it. I don't care. Your whole argument the past 10 years was he hasn't won a single thing. Now you're going to say, oh, but it was too easy? No, fuck off.
He hasn't won a single thing at Tottenham. It's relating to Tottenham, not Harry Kane more so, from what I understand.
Right, but they apply it to Harry Kane and bring down how great of a player he is. He's one of the greatest players of all time.
The thing is, I know. And I think it's very hard to find someone who disagrees with that.
But he's undeniably brought down because he plays for us. That is undeniable.
Yeah, but that's a Tottenham thing. That's not a Harry Kane thing. That's a Tottenham thing.
But I'm saying he is brought down because people, obviously, we have troubles to, always competing at the highest level. Pochettino's the only reason we were still at this point. And because of that, Kane isn't at the level that I think generally people should be seeing him at. And that's why I'm fine with him going, for people to at least get rid of that, sense of that's fine. Hey, let him marinate, whatever. But he's gonna break that record. He's gonna get trophies, and all those criticisms can be gone. I couldn't care less.
Digger's very, very, very red right now.
I couldn't care less. I'm just saying. I'm defending my boy right now.
He's passionate. I respect that. I respect that. It's like me with Declan. I respect that.
I respect it. I think it's a little misdirected, personally, because I see
nothing wrong with it.
No. Okay, I see nothing wrong with the passion. I think for me, it's more of the fans it's a Tottenham thing. No one denies Harry Kane's greatness. And he can do a win thing, but it's the whole Tottenham thing. I think Harry Kane's the greatest striker of all time. In Premier League history, at least. I think you can, some people, the few Twitter heads that are bringing him down for not winning anything, but it doesn't matter. I think that's 3 dudes in the comment section.
Can't even kick a ball. Let's be real. Those guys can't even kick a ball either.
Exactly.
They're just hating to hate.
To me, it doesn't mean that big of a thing. However, I'm going to raise you another point for this.
Okay.
Give it, let's say, he goes to Bayern right now in 3 years, okay? If Harry Kane leaves right now, Richarlison gets that bump up, right?
Oh, God.
Which I'm sure Richarlison is so happy.
Don't disrespect my boy. Don't disrespect my boy.
If Harry Kane leaves, Richarlison gets that bump up, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Tottenham is a place for strikers. They handle strikers well. Let's say Richarlison bangs. Is at least in top 3 in Golden Boot the next 3 years, if not winning it, killing it. Okay? Killing it. Do you still go and get Harry Kane? And do you still bring him back and just reduce Richarlison back to what he was in the past? Because they're not going to change the system. They're just going to put Harry Kane in the spot he wants to be in. And if so, let's say if that happens, Richarlison's on top.
A lot of ifs.
Would Harry Kane even want to come back to Tottenham if Richarlison is on top?
Here's what I'll say. The only thing that, and those are all valid questions, but the biggest thing I think that it's because Kane is Kane. He can play in the 2-man up front. He can play as a 10. He has that passing ability and that vision to play as a 10, which in honesty would be a better suited for him when he's older. Requires less running, less banging with center backs, less kind of having to fight and physically battle with them. I saw the eyebrow. Don't think you snuck past that.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I thought I was
honestly,
looking at something
like
off screen.
I could see him being dropped deeper. He has such a good technical ability that he doesn't have to play Charlton. He could play with him. He could play behind him. And at 33, 34, whatever how old he is, he's not starting every game anymore. That ain't he don't have that tank in him anymore. So I genuinely think just because of the player he is and the way if it's handled correctly, I don't think it'd be a problem. I don't think it'd be a problem at all.
Okay. I think it's going to be interesting because I think like other factors to factor in right now. In my head, your new manager's first season. Okay, let's say he's successful. For the next 3 years, he's really successful. He's still there after 3 years. The success is down to his tactics because he was able to build Tottenham around not having Harry Kane. That's what that would mean if he gets success. Yeah. So he has tactics. He has a certain way of playing. He has a certain way of players playing. If it's banging by then with his players and tactics, I don't even know if... I mean, he might, but he's not attached to Harry Kane. He might not even want to bring him back as a manager. And then would Daniel... I mean, he probably would, but would Daniel Levy risk that rift between him and the manager just to bring Harry Kane back just for the lulz?
Let me say this. Did Arsenal bring back Thierry Henry when he was like 36, 37?
That's different. That's different because he knew... No. He knew Wenger. He already had the same system that Wenger was playing. There's a link there. There's a connection between the manager and the player, right? You can bring him back. He barely played. He did barely play. But Tottenham are in a new era with a new manager. If they would have new players, it's going to be a completely different thing than Arsenal was.
The manager won't matter. It could be any manager. Daniel Levy has a stronger say than the manager.
No, but I agree. But that's what I'm saying. Like, why would he then? Like, okay, manager, Graham Potter. A lot of the Todd Bowley made a lot of signings that Graham Potter didn't want. Okay, yeah. Graham Potter did play them. Harry Kane's a different story. You kind of have to play Harry Kane a little bit, but then that messes up the manager's flow. Oh shit, we have to play Harry Kane now a little bit, which is fine, but it kind of changes things a little bit. And I'm exaggerating it for sure, but like I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more to think about for a manager's perspective.
You're right. It's not a getting back definitely, but he's a legend of the club. He's gonna get a statue out front of the stadium. He's gonna go down as the greatest ever player, and it's Harry Kane. He's so good that he just has to fit into the team. And even at 34, his technical ability hasn't gone. And I'm saying 34 because I'm thinking he'll stay there like 2-3 years, right? 33, 34, his technical ability hasn't gone. You can fit him in there. He's that versatile, that good of a player that you can fit him in there. In the same way that if you were just to get, I don't know what's another great, like if you, let's say you go get Kevin De Bruyne, you're going to play him. It doesn't matter whether he doesn't fit the system or not. He's that good of a player that he'll probably work his way into the system no matter what. He's just that good of a player.
Which I get, but like, as a manager, why make the signing if it doesn't fit in your system? Like then
these players do. These players make their way into the system.
No, which I understand, but I'm just saying, for whatever reason, your new manager has a system where Harry Kane doesn't exactly fit into. It's going to take a lot for him to fit into it. Why make that sign that instead of going out to sign someone else who's going to do the same thing? Let me say, different kind of player, of course, but same kind of meaning to the club is Eden Hazard, right? Let's say Chelsea brought back Eden Hazard right now, okay? Legend of the club, might get a statue. You have to play him. If we wanted to get him, you'd have to play him, right? But we're not going to make that signing because he doesn't fit what we have going on. So then why make it? Despite him being legend of the club, despite him saying he would want to come back, what's the point at that point? Like, why bring him back then? Just because he was once good for us, you know? And I'm sure Harry Kane's different. I'm sure Harry Kane at that point will still be very good. But, you know, Eden Hazard, like, yeah, he wants to play for us. I'm sure it'd be great to have him back, but he doesn't fit what's going on right now. So what if Harry Kane at that point doesn't fit what's happening at that point? Why bring him back? You know, I don't argue the fact that if they do bring him back, he would play, whatever. It's a hypothetical. I'm just saying, like, what if in that scenario, like, do you still go out there and pay whatever you need to pay for him to bring him back? Or do you just, like, let him go and do whatever he wants, but he's still a club legend, doesn't mean anything? You know, like, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't. At that point, when you say that, I mean, like, of course I don't know, but like,
yeah, that's what I mean though. That's what I was saying. Is like, what if my whole argument is like, what if by the time you want him to come back, he just can't? There's just no other thing. Of course,
obviously, I mean, like, it's going to play out however it plays out. I think there's a very, very high chance he comes back at some point. But, you know, obviously I'm not going to say it's guaranteed because, of course, all those things you brought up are fair points. I mean, I don't know. But I think there's a very, very good chance, and I wouldn't bet against it that he doesn't come back.